I'm your Black Lex today, baby. Now you ain't never gotta like me, that shit is overrated. You need a hero to love, I be the villain that you hated. When it's all said and done, you gon' love me. Me kissing babies, fucking ladies thinking of me. Cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the one that's supposed to lose. But I'm American, baby, so the rules all skewed for me. Steal your identity, fuck up your credit for free. Police know it's stolen, but they still make you pay the fee. And you don't respect me, for real? I'm the one that's showing you what the real world is. All these backroom deals for your kids' future. My financial aid hustle keep your kids mooching. And why you motherfuckers still stupid? The Statue of Liberty married the country, divorced and now the bitch still moving. With half of the money, alimony, child support. You know what's up when I be winning in the court. Cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. They try to tell me thou shalt not steal. In the same church they tell me Jesus white, is they for real? They try to say the land of the free. Minus the slavery, plus the fact that you pay for land these folks stole for free. And you wanna be Superman. Did you forget that Lex Luthor became the president? You lacking common sense, that's why the villain lives. That's why the villain's right. They turn on Superman, man, they turn on Jesus Christ. Even the devil got teams like Arizona State, Duke, the state of Jersey. That man say you're sold and he can't get a jersey. Y'all go to church on Sunday and you claim you're worthy. That's why I got my credit and I'm charging 10%. You finish paying me and you gon' pay me triple, bitch. So why'd I be a hero when a villain gets paid? And women like paid, so the villain gets laid. So I'ma be the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe if you want to. So this is not going to be pretty. I've been chilling. And what it is at the end of the day, I think we as a people have been living in far too much of a lie on purpose. So I just decided, when people like talking about truth, I'm gonna just say the uncomfortable things that haven't been said. Well, some of them may have been said, I don't know, but been alluded to also. So first and foremost, as y'all can see, with the CEO being shot in New York at 6 a.m, the truth of that is, the reason they haven't found a guy because it's a white guy. The reason that they nobody called the police on a guy pacing back and forth with a ski mask on is because it's a white guy. The reason the cops couldn't find him is because it's a white guy. The reason it took all this time because it's a white guy. Let's just cut it out. That's why you can get away with the stuff you can get away with. So now we have this issue where, in America, how did this happen? What's going on? What do you mean? It's a white guy. Crime and white guy getting away with crime and getting a head start to get away is regular protocol in America with white people. That's what it is. It's part of your amendments. And I'm saying that because that's the news story of the day. But I'm gonna say a whole bunch of other stuff that has nothing to do with that. Um, because I've been listening to a lot of content or whatever, and I'm gonna say that's the first thing. When it comes to reality, reality isn't on the internet, and if you get your reality from the internet, then it's a delusion. See, there are too many people out here, you know, not actually um, living in the actual world because they got their reality from the internet. So, in all honesty, you're gonna waste your whole life on social media and actually not live your life. And that's just the truth. That since you can't see the truth, that's what's gonna happen. That's why some of y'all having the issues you're having is because you're actually not outside living. You're on your phone living. You're on your computer living. You're in your house living. But you ain't actually experiencing life outside of that. So a lot of your complaints about what's going on is irrelevant. You know, just for the record. You know. Now we're gonna have when we talk about, I saw Mr. Fantastic earlier today, talking about, you got, if you was in the manosphere, the black manosphere, man, Chief Rocker, man, thanks, dog. I'm about to get into that black manosphere stuff too, man. Thank you, man. Um, when he said today that it's cool to be in, you can say you in the black manosphere again because everybody else is using quote unquote our talking points and our point of view, and that's absolutely true. you know yeah. So now we have to have that conversation where, since you can't see the truth, let's just state it. A lot of these people who are not of the black manosphere or adjacent to the black manosphere and had an issue with it but use the same talking points, y'all not really gonna get the reality from them, because they're actually not in they actually don't have any life experience to back up what they're saying. It's just talking points. They presented our talking points in 4K TV, but they have no nuance. There is no real balance because they don't really actually know what they're talking about, because that's not how they live it, or that's not their life experience. So to expect something beyond them waiting for us to tell them the next move so they can just repeat it on their show is delusional also, because they're not going to tell you anything new. They're going to tell you something that we said years ago and they haven't evolved out of. So that's a whole nother thing. Now, when it comes to the other part of this relationship stuff, and that's why I said, since you can't see the truth, let's go there. When it comes to the conversation about the single mother household, the truth of the matter is that's how a lot of these ladies wanted it to be. They wanted to have kids. They didn't want to have a family. So this idea that guys are just not taking care of their kids and not taking care of the family now, that's all a conversation people are having after the fact. After they had the kid and they got what they wanted, which was the kid or the kids, and after they might have went to court, or after they got their little controlling bug out, and it was like, this is my kid and my kids, I could do whatever I want. And then when it stopped working for them, or the you know, the power lost its luster, then you get this conversation about, family and men and providers and being involved. Yeah, and it's like, listen, you didn't want a family, you wanted kids. So you got kids, you fought to have kids and be able to raise the kids by yourself. So your complaints are just your complaints after the fact, because it wasn't a good idea. Felt good in the beginning, but it wasn't a good idea in the end. Um Now, on the other side of that, since you can't see the truth, the idea that the amount of sex you have as a man is going to define you in your life, and you're going to listen to guys who tell you how to get as much sex as possible in your life, and it's going to make your life a whole lot better. The truth is, they full of it, because how you know if they having sex or not? And sex in a multitude of sex with a bunch of people isn't as fulfilling as you think. That's the truth. You're gonna have some great nights with some people. You're gonna have some horrible nights with some people. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna have some nights where it's like, you feel fulfilled, and you're gonna have nights where it's like, why am I here? That's the truth of it. It's not gonna make you more of a man. Just being honest, it's not. And after a while, it becomes a waste of time, because all of these games you're trying to play to get sex and have sex, and the sex is everything. You're gonna realize as a man, when you like to talk about purpose and legacy, you don't want your purpose to be constant sex, new sex partners, because you're gonna get older, and you're gonna realize you ain't doing much with your life. You get what I'm saying? That's a whole nother aspect, since you can't see the truth. We've seen so many old men who spent the vast majority of their life chasing sex, and they ain't got nothing to show for it in life. Just saying. And the same thing on the flip side with the ladies. The truth is, you out here, and you want attention, and you want to be looked at as pleasing and sexual, and really a lot of y'all are trying to use y'all attractiveness as a paycheck. You prostituting yourselves, and you ain't met a man who's a man's worth to you is how much he gonna spend on you prostituting yourself. And I hate to break the news to you, but at the end of the day, you're gonna run out of customers, and you're just gonna have years of wasted, unfulfilled prostitution dreams, since you can't see it. You're gonna be on social media taking more and more pictures, doing more and more videos, trying to garner more and more attention, and still ain't, quote unquote, found somebody to do what? Take care of you for the rest of your life, while you do nothing but try to get attention on the internet. That don't even make sense. So now we had to have these type of discussions. My bad, I had to turn it down, so I didn't realize it was that loud. Now we got to get into the other conversations. And I'm gonna get back to some of this stuff. When it comes to attention, people want attention because they feel like because if you get enough attention, there's supposed to be a check attached to it, right? So if the amount of attention you can get, you can say, I should get this amount of money if I can get this many people. That's what that is. So people are prostituting themselves in a multitude of ways. and one is politically. Since y'all, quote unquote, can't see the truth, right? So if you're a black person, they'll say you're cooning if you prostitute yourself for the Republican Party or the conservatives. And the truth is, yeah, you are cooning and prostituting yourself for a check. And there's a glass ceiling if if you're cooning for the Republican Party. But on the flip side, there's a glass ceiling if you prostituting yourself for the Democratic Party or the liberals. You're prostituting yourself. There's a glass ceiling to that too. And it's the same glass ceiling and it's the same height. That's just the reality of it. So, and on both fronts, just because you believed the Democratic ideology or just because you believe the Republican ideology, it ain't gonna work for you. That's just what it is. It ain't gonna work for you. It was never their intention for it to work for you and your group or our group as a whole. That's the reality of it. So when you see people, getting involved in politics and then being involved in politics for decades, a decade or under, or 20, 30 years, decades, and you really see no change in society, that's because it was never meant to be. It's just for a check. Let's just have an argument about something so I could get paid, so I could bring attention to this, or I could fan the flames of this, so the camera could be on me, so I could get a check, so they could say that, I got some kind of influence in the world. That's what that is. So that's where we at. So now, that's part of my conversation because people, we act like we can't see what's going on. Okay. Since we can't see what's going on, fine. I'll say it out loud. Yeah. I'll say it out loud. The other thing, and the reason I said the cooning in a relationship prostitute, the political prostituting yourself, the relationship prostituting yourself, let's just keep it all honest at this particular point. The vast majority of America is not rich and is probably not going to be rich. So all of these other little games people try to play, this passive aggressive, I'm going to get rich or die trying passive aggressively. No. I'm going to sell my soul. Who you actually selling your soul to? You don't know, do you? I'm attempting to do it. Okay, well, you attempted to sell your soul for $1 and you wind up still not having any dollars. What does that mean? Hold up. I think that's my refrigerator. I'm tripping. But since you out here playing these games that you want in society, we're going to have a conversation about it. Give me 1 second. My apologies. Okay. Oh, we'll get into all that. So now, right, everybody thinks they're going to make it. And I'm not going to say it's a possibility for everybody to make it. But let's just be honest. A lot of people are willing to do sucker stuff on the attempt to make it because what? Most people will accept a person doing sucker stuff if they make money at it. So this is why you have a society full of people who are really scumbags at heart. Because hey, man, if I lie, cheat, steal, scam, hustle, you know, to get a bag, if I get some money out of it, if I get some money out of it, it's all good, right? No, but hey, man, I got it. Excuse me. And speaking of this, you know, I'm gonna make a biblical reference. People, for some people, don't really read the Bible like that, and they use God and the Bible as a weapon for people who to believe. Let me say that a different way. People use the Bible or religion or the Bible, Quran, Torah. They use religion as a way to pull at your heartstrings to screw you over, because most people don't know it. So when people say, money is the root of all evil, it's not. That's not how it's written. It says the love of money, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which means, when you love money more than you love people in life, you'll do that's evil, because you'll do stuff for the money, and it doesn't you don't care what you do to the people that it affects. That's why you see in life, or you can watch it in TV shows and movies, people do some outlandish stuff for $1. So because of that, we have the society that we have now. The reason I wanted to preface that is because we've gone to a place in life where it's not really money. People don't realize it. It's not really money that you selling your soul for. It's not really money that you lying for. It's not really money that you grifting for. It's not really money that you willing to steal from people for. That's not what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. The reason why y'all people lying, cheating, and stealing is because you want a nice outfit. You want some nice jewelry. You want a nice car. You want to have a nice house. So you think, hey, these things are worth more than people's lives. You want to be able to say for somebody to see you and give you attention as being important. So you're willing to do any kind of thing for it. And what you're seeing in life, and even on social media, the amount of buffoonery that people will do in hopes to keep you engaged enough to give them $1. They gonna lie to you for it. So because people want you to be engaged for $1, like I just said, they'll lie to you for it. But since you can't see the truth, here it is. People look at society and figure out the weaknesses in society, because so many people are on social media. They figured out all of your flaws and all of your insecurities, and they tailor a message for you and your insecurities because you give them so much of your time. That's what's going on. People feed into your egos. People feed into your belief that you're a superhero somehow. That's what as a content creator, that's what a lot of us are doing. It ain't about the content after a certain point. We realize, oh man, why am I gonna be on here doing this stuff day in and day out, trying to, give a message to people that people might need, when I've noticed that You just want another form of television. So how about I just give you some TV and wrap it in, you know, the 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 shiny wrapping of a new toy, because you're gonna be here over and over and over and over and over again. Because people don't want solutions. You know, people don't want solutions. Like I said, since you can't see the truth is nobody wants their problem solved. They just want their problem heard. Because if I solve your problem, now you ain't got nothing to complain about. If I solved all of your problems, what do you have to complain about? Nothing. And that's why people point the finger out to everybody else. Because since we gonna be honest, your number one problem in life is gonna be you. Not the people around you, not the people who, who wronged you and hurt you. Your number one problem in life is gonna be you. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're gonna make a decision to be somewhere where it don't sit in your spirit that you need to be. You gonna do something in life that you gonna see all the red flags to, and you gonna ignore those red flags for whatever reason, whether it's a selfish reason or whether you feel like you're being altruistic and you can save somebody and be somebody's angel, but you gonna make a decision that's gonna put you in a bad spot. And that's a normal thing in life. That's a normal thing in life. So now, your number one problem is gonna be you, because you gonna know if you done this too many times. If you like, oh, I'm doing it again, and you still make the decision to do it again, then it's not everybody else. See, a lot of this stuff that goes on with we'll say the gender war, and I'm gonna get into some of that in a minute, because it's another truth in that we don't that we have to deal with. But a lot of this is men using women, men using women as the excuse, and women using men as the excuse, because they don't want to deal with the fact that the problem is staring right back at them in the mirror. And this is what I mean. Now, there are people in life who they get things happen to them that are completely outside of their control. And that's very much so true. You're not responsible of the family you're born into. You're not responsible for the cards you're dealt in life. You're not responsible, for, an accident that might have happened, that might have done something to you. You're not responsible for other people's issues that they brought into your life when you was trying to make sure those type of issues wasn't in your life. You're not responsible for things like that at all. But so many people out here want to take their frustration out on the world, that the number one issue that they're having is when people push back, they have an issue with that. I got hurt as a kid, as an adult, so I'm so angry, I should be able to hurt you. And it's like, no, I'm not doing that. Or you need to be with me and be around me and hang around me and put up with all of my hurt and work with me until I don't hurt no more. So when is that going to be? I don't know. You don't have a definite time when you're going to stop your shenanigans? No, don't need to be around you. See, excuse me, the truth to the matter is, people want to be able to not be an adult, because adults have problems, and adults have to be an adult. Dr. T, what's going on? Adults have to be an adult even when they got problems. And what you wind up, what we wind up having in our society now is a bunch of people who really are just making more problems for themselves because they don't want to grow up. That's what's been going on. So you can't believe everything that everybody tells you because they're not being 100% honest with you. And that's, since you can't see the truth, that's part of the truth. You got to accept that these people aren't going to all be honest with you. They're only going to tell you the part of the story that makes them look good, makes them look like a victim, or makes them get away scot-free. So the reason why that's important, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? The reason why that's important is because you got to find the truth. Because you can't accept anything a person says. Don't expect it to be 100% truth. Don't you ever expect it to be 100% truth? Because very few people are that honest, and I'm gonna tell you why that is so. Because most people can't handle honesty. We don't live in a society or in a world that people can handle honesty. People get upset when you're honest. People get upset when you tell the truth. People do more to destroy a person who tells the truth than they do to a person that they sit right next to that can tell them a lie every day. That's how it goes. The truth is the hardest thing for people to deal with. So since you can't see the truth, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna handle it. We're gonna handle it. Here's something we got to be true about. The vast majority of society is stupid on purpose. See, when I would say people are stupid, I'm not saying people are just slow. Like people have mental issues. No. The vast majority of people are stupid on purpose. They went to school. Okay? They went to school and they were taught the very basics that we all should know. The vast majority of people, what did they do? They fought learning that stuff. I don't need that. That ain't cool. I don't like that. Who cares about that? I don't care about that subject. I want to clown with my friends. I want to just have some fun. As an adult, I'm going to be all of these great things. I'm not going to need any of this information. Well, what you wind up with is a society of stupid adults. And like I said, people are stupid, on purpose. You see, this is why people have all of these hustles and scams and they go around and around to get over on people. When you talk to people and you be around people long enough, you'll realize people are real stupid on one aspect, and then they get real smart when they're trying to get over on you. Oh, they know all of these things when they're trying to get over on you. And it's like, oh, you stupid on purpose. Oh man, you got to be a fool to catch a fool. Oh, no. No. You playing games now. And see, this goes into the conversation about our society and even our relationships. And this is what I mean. The reason why some of these relationships don't work, a lot of them, is because you got two stupid people together. And two stupid people aren't never going to be compatible because they're stupid. And what I mean is, when you have conversations with people can't comprehend stuff anymore. Since we're going to look at social media, look at the interactions that men and women are having, and guess what's going on? You got two stupid people that can't have a conversation because both of them can't understand nothing. One person says one thing and the other person interprets the conversation completely different than what was said. Why? Because they got to make up something in their heads. this happens when you play stupid your whole life. So if I told you the sky is blue and you go, well, what shade of blue we talking? Because turquoise is blue, aqua is a blue. Like, I don't understand what I know you said blue, but what blue exactly? You stupid. How about stupid blue? So now we have to get into a conversation which winds up being an argument because you can't comprehend English. You can't comprehend common sense. See, since you can't see the truth, I'm gonna tell you. Y'all think too many people are out here. Oh shoot. Too many people are out here who honestly want everything to be about them because they're spoiled. So if it doesn't involve you catering to me and everything that I want and I think and I feel and I think I need and I want, then it ain't real. So what winds up happening is, you're an idiot when it comes to the rest of the world, but you're a genius when it comes to you, which means you'll never get along with anybody. See, people we're calling that people are being narcissistic. They're not being narcissistic. They're stupid. They only can think about themselves, which is a whole nother part of the problem that we have right now in our society. People think people lack empathy. People will go, oh, why can't you have empathy? Why don't you put yourself in another person's shoes? They choose not to. They know everybody has empathy. Everybody knows how to have empathy, but people make a choice to not empathize with people because they want what they want out of a situation. It's very simple. You can't tell a person, hey man, I don't want a person hitting on me. And a person and a person can't empathize with that. Well, I don't know how that feels. Punch him in the face. I bet you I don't want nobody hitting on me. I thought you didn't know how that felt. I know how I feel, but I don't want nobody doing it to me too. They supposed to do it to you. See, we live in a world where people feel like, think and believe that as long you should get screwed over, but I shouldn't. People want everybody in the world to be Jesus. And what I mean by that is people want somebody else to sacrifice themselves for their best benefit. See, people don't, what did Jesus get out of dying? He died for our sins. What did we do for Jesus? Nothing. That's how people are going throughout the world and society. It don't, exactly. So now we have issue after issue after issue. So now I'll answer your question easy. You don't have to. People lie to you about being a bigger person. With being a bigger person doesn't mean if somebody wrongs you, you just let it happen again. Being a bigger person means if somebody wrongs you and you can crush them and you choose to get completely away from them. But that means once you get completely away from them, if they come in your direction, you could crush them. See, when people say walk away, they're not telling you to walk. They're not telling people to walk away and move on and let things go because they don't believe that person shouldn't be crushed. They're saying you got more to do with your life than them. Leave them where they at. What's up, George? Leave them where they at. They gonna still be there. So, you know, like I said, since you can't see the truth, I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna get into that since I'm here at this particular point. You can see if a person is going to be somewhere for the rest of their lives and they're going nowhere. You can tell a difference between a person who's going somewhere in their life and a person who's going nowhere. If you're dealing with people that aren't going anywhere, leave them. You know why? They're going to be at that same place when you get back. If you come back around there, they're going to still be there. You ain't got to stay there 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years just to see them be at the exact same spot. Not worth the time. Not worth the time. And on the flip side of that, the other thing people not going to tell you is, when people are going places, when you can tell somebody is going places in life, guess what that means? They might leave you because they're going somewhere else. You're not going in the same direction. You might not be going in the same direction, and that's okay. But as long as you're going forward, that's all that matters. It's all good. Now we're gonna talk about since you can't see the truth, we're gonna do this. Backing up to the black manosphere. This is what happened. You got the black manosphere talking points versus, let's just say, feminist talking points, right? In social media, you're seeing the results of both. In society, you're seeing the results of both. You're seeing how the black manosphere is talking points. You see how they play out in life because you see all of this stuff going on that people are recording. Feminists, you see how they're talking points and how it's playing out. Here's the issue. The worst thing that ever happened to dysfunctional people with power was a camera. See, you couldn't tell a person was a liar or a scam artist, and it didn't go out that fast in decades prior. Now you can see the results of somebody's scumbag nature immediately, over and over and over again. And the reason why I gotta reel this in and say, since you can't see the truth, because I say that to say this. Let's talk about the black church. Every time you see the black church right now, or church in general, or church in general. Okay. The vast majority when you see church in general is perverted, and the black church is perverted. And the interesting thing about it is, what we have been socialized to do is to forgive a liar, forgive a perverted person, forgive a scammer because of God. So we don't shut down BS, because you can see it over and over again. The church is a show. They made God a play. That's what they did. So you know why we don't have God in society? God ain't in the school. God ain't in the church. God ain't in the well, I can't say God ain't in the family. God is in some families, but God ain't in the people. You know, all churches, it don't matter. All of these, the vast majority of the churches that we know are scams. So when you turn integrity, when you turn morality, when you turn honesty into a hustle, which in America, God has always been a hustle. From from the inception of it, God has been a hustle in American life. This Christianity thing in America has always been perverted, but it gets more what we like to say sophisticated, which is a low key way of saying a passive aggressive way of saying uh, a gangster way of stealing. you know, there people ain't worried about no afterlife. People are worrying about the after party. And the reason why I say that, since you can't see the truth, we live in a Christian society that believes that Jesus is God. All of these Christians, all of these biblical people, we got to the point where people think Jesus is God. That lets me know how far you fail as far as a religious person or a Christian. Jesus isn't God. Jesus never was God, but y'all gonna make Jesus God because you don't pay attention to the Bible, because you really halfway in a religion. Religion is only something. God is only something that we talk about when we want something. We only love God when we want something. We only love God when we feel like we need something. We only love God when we think when how can I say this? When we're in trouble. We only love God when He bring us out of something we shouldn't have got ourselves into. We only love God if He heal us from something. We don't love God 24/7. We love God selectively. Let's just be honest. Depending on your age group, you you might have spent more time on a porn site than you spent in the Bible. And that's just a reality of nowadays. You might have spent more time on a video game than you spent with God. If you just want to be honest about it. Hold on. My apologies, y'all. I thought I heard something. I had to get up real quick. My apologies. I got to get back to it. I can tell you right now, all of them. Abraham, it don't matter. It don't matter which God. People ain't paying attention to it. So the reason why I'm speaking of just truth in general is because truth became synonymous with feelings over facts. So we got problems now. We got problems, because you don't have to see the truth if you can make it up for yourself. So let's go a little further. You know, and I'm gonna get out of that. I'm gonna just get out of that for a second, because I'm I gotta go back. Fam, it's okay because I'm just speaking about a bunch of different stuff. Um, I'm gonna go back and say this. Since you can't see the truth, I'm gonna show it to you. The number the number one lie you tell yourself is gonna be all it's gonna be good, it's gonna be okay. Number one lie. Because everything gonna be okay. Everything gonna be okay. It don't matter what it is, everything just gonna be okay. The number one liar in your life is normally you. Since you can't see the truth. Take care. You know. So now, and I hate to say it, but if people know that you are gonna lie to yourself, this is why other people will lie to you. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, they can't be honest with you. But if you can lie to yourself, they can lie to you. So that's why we have all of these how can I say this? All of these delusional hopes that don't make sense because they're based in a lie. They're based in the lie you told yourself that everything gonna be all right. They based in a lie that, yeah, I know what I'm doing. They based in a lie that, yeah, I don't have to put the work into something and just one day I'm gonna just wake up and be great. They're based in a lie, and people play with you with that lie. Oh yeah, I got something for you. Yeah, actually, yeah, I could. You're gonna have a superpower one day. Yeah, you're just gonna sit on your butt and watch TV and eat snacks, and then, and look at so much and read comic books and put on makeup, and then one day you're just gonna wake up and be the greatest person to ever live. Like, you know why you believe it? Because you tell that to yourself. I don't never have to improve myself. I'm gonna just be great one day. Dog wasn't a word. Dog came way after God. See, since you can't see the truth, I'm gonna tell you where this part of this came from. I was sitting there, and why the biblical thing. I was listening to, I think it was Jordan Peterson and some other guys talking about religion, and then he was like, God, the Bible has a lot of verses about slavery. I knew I was watching a bunch of white guys on the panel talking about slavery, and I knew for a fact once they went down that rabbit hole, it was just justifying what white people did in America. And I'm like, obviously, you don't want to tell the whole story. See, the Bible does have like if you read Exodus like 21, there's a whole bunch of rules on quote unquote slavery. But that's really indentured servitude. And I'm going somewhere when I say this. People change the names of old things to make what they are doing okay. So this is why we live in a bunch of half truths. Because what people wind up doing in life, they like to play, in ambiguity, double speak. So if you ain't informed on what something really was back then, and I use the term in the same exact way, I use a synonym for that same thing, you'll think it's the exact same thing when it's not. And since you can't see the truth, I'm gonna tell it to you. I can lie to you in synonyms. I can play you in synonyms. See, words are different for a reason. They might have similar meanings, but they're different for a reason. So if I use a different word that's a synonym for something, you're going to equate it to what you think that is for your time period. And that's why I say, since you can't see the truth, this is what I mean. When people talk about men, what they all have this, as Kevin Samuels would say, this color purple thing where the men of yesteryear were evil and they were doing this and they were doing that. You know why they keep doing that? Because they don't have stories for their time period. That's why they keep saying men in the 40s and the 50s and 60s and 70s were 80s were all of these negative things, because it didn't happen to them in the 90s, in the 2000s, in the 2010s, not the 2020s. So men are this way because you're going to say men from that time were a certain way, and you don't know that to today. But it's not happening. So let me reel that back in for a second. What I'm saying is, I can use any time period or any word or any era of yesteryear and lie to you today about it. Just because something exists doesn't mean it's prevalent. And this is where we're living at in the world, where we take we play this game where, let me give you the worst possible scenario, and because the worst possible scenario exists, I'm gonna put it in the mix like it's prevalent, like it happened everywhere all day long. Where is this stuff happening? This is why you're seeing people having tough conversations now. It's not a tough conversation. I'll take that back. This is why you're seeing people have a tough time dealing with facts. You know, like, all these black men are dead and in jail. How many black men are in jail compared to how many black men are alive? You get what I'm saying? 20-something black men alive, and like 500,000 are incarcerated. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's for everybody. The 500,000 trumps let's just say the 21 million. You get what I'm saying? This is a problem. All of this stuff going on in the world today. We take the minority and we make it the majority. And then when people show you the majority, we have a problem. Like, no, that can't be true. Yeah, that is true. That's how it goes. See, we're at a point where people don't know what real is anymore, because real doesn't sound like a lie. Like, oh boy. I didn't even think about getting into this. So, okay. I'm hating what I gotta say, but it is what it is. The truth is, some of you adults right now, you were bad kids who made bad decisions as kids, who fought good decision making by your parents and family, and became bad adults. And now y'all got a story to tell. Some of y'all you didn't listen to your mama. You didn't listen to your daddy. You didn't listen to your aunts and uncles. You didn't listen to your granddaddy. You didn't listen to your grandmama. You wanted to do what you wanted to do. And you finally got old enough to make your own decisions and you be responsible for your own decisions. And then you found out that you were an idiot. That's what happened. So all of these adults around here running around acting like they not adults anymore. I got this, I got that trauma, and I got this toxic. No, y'all, a lot of y'all were toxic children. Y'all were toxic teenagers. You were toxic adults. It wasn't your family, it was you. And I'm gonna go back when I say this. 1 second. Okay. Too many of y'all let the television, the music, your friends, and the new fashion trends raise you. That's what's happening now. So for some of you young folks, you know why y'all your parents bought you clothes. Your parents bought you shoes. Your parents, bought you a comb, bought you a toothbrush. Your parents bought you suits. But guess what? You wanted to walk around in pajamas all day. You wanted to walk around in Crocs all day. And now dressing like an adult in the world makes you uncomfortable. So now you want the world to fit you. That's what's going on. You want the world to fit you. How come I can't just? How come I can't just? No, no. Y'all got a problem now. And I got to get to it when I'm honest. And you know, it ain't just the bonnet crew. It ain't, but the bonnet crew is definitely there. But too many people, you you want to go on vacation and look nice. You want to go out and to a restaurant or to a show and look nice. But you don't want to look nice when you're young. Y'all don't want to look nice when you go to class. You don't want to look nice at school. You don't want to look nice at work. You don't want to look nice at home half the time. Listen, but you want to go out into the world and act like something gonna happen out in the world. You're gonna look your best at, when you're trying to get some attention for somebody to sleep with you 9 times out of 10, than you would getting up in the morning, which is ridiculous. What up? It ain't even about being pretty. It's about the priorities. Exactly. Priorities are trash. People's priorities are in the dumps. And it sucks to have to say this, but the truth is, some folks, too many folks, let's just say, inflation is killing everybody. They're not everybody, but inflation is killing people. And I'm finna go there, honestly. If inflation killing you so much, how you have money to add on to your Madden or to your 2K or to your NCAA or to your Call of Duty? How you got money for that if inflation killing you? You know, if inflation killing you, how you got money for Uber Eats if inflation killing you like that? If the price of everything is going up, how? You want to explain that to me? How come you gotta have the AC at this perfect condition for you and your electric bill is through the roof? But inflation is killing you. What? What are you talking about? How come you need a new phone every year if inflation killing you? Tell me, how come you need to go on what how come you need to go on another vacation? But inflation out here killing me. I need a break. If you need a break, you wouldn't be wanting to go on vacation because that costs money. What are we talking about? How come you want to go out to eat all day? But inflation killing me. You don't act like it. You don't act like it. You don't act like it. So now we have to have another discussion. Like I said, since you can't see the truth, it ain't just that. It ain't just the youth. Because if you talk about the youth being spoiled, the youth might be spoiled, but we the ones did it to them. We the ones did it to him. My baby gotta had a. We don't want my baby gotta had a new J's. My baby gotta had a new whatever. My baby gotta had a new BB. My baby gotta had a new iPad. Y'all giving, we gave toddlers iPads, and now that they're teenagers, they're dumb. They had an iPad their whole life and they're stupid. iPad got all this information. We supposed to let the iPad know to, play with this and play with this and learn this and learn that. By the time that kid got to kindergarten, we stopped paying attention what they had on the iPad. Now they stupid. Now they stupid. We there raising idiots. Oh yeah, and I got to get into this also. Since, like I said, since you can't see the truth. Oh boy. Since we talk about like families, the truth is it's not single mother households that are the problem. It's single mothers' families that are the problem. See, we blame it all on a single mother, right? But you know who we don't blame? The single mother's mother, the single mother's father, the single mother's brother, the single mother's sister, the single mother's cousins, the single mother's aunts, the single mother's uncles, the single mother's grandparents. We don't blame them. The single mother's boyfriend or the single mother's girlfriend. We don't tell y'all the truth of the matter is, especially let's just talk about Black America. The issue wasn't the single mothers or the huge problem. The single mother's family was idiots too. I'm gonna just be honest with you. A lot of folks who was raised by single mothers, they were also raised by the single mother's family. And by the time you grew up and became an adult, you had to realize either your family was crazy or stupid. You had to realize that either your family was crazy or stupid or both. See, and I'm not. And let me say this: there are a lot of single mothers who got they're a good chunk of single mothers who got it together. Some of them from the jump, some of them after the fact. But what we see now is a lot of single mothers and single mothers' families. They out of their dang own mind. The kids are crazy. The family's crazy. The kids crazy. The village is crazy. Now, here's another aspect though. As some of them to the point. Yeah. We gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Some millennial Gen Z. I'm gonna tell y'all something. If you are you shouldn't be a kid catching Uber. You shouldn't be a teenager catching Uber. That's just a flat out issue. That's a flat out issue. Now, let me back, and I gotta say that because we throw the single mother under the bus, but we don't never think about their family. We don't never think about like, yo, all them people stupid. Yeah, all them people stupid. All them people stupid. Now, let's go. Let's take this a step further. You know, because every generation has an issue. You know, boomers have an issue. I'm Gen X. We got an issue. You know, we got issues. Millennials got issues. Gen Z got issues. Alpha, everybody got issues. Here's the thing, though. As long as America, the machine, is running, nobody cares to fix their issues. Nobody cares to fix it. Why would I fix my issues if the country's still running and I'm doing all right? See, where we're at right now in America is people are nervous because the machine of America and capitalism as we know it ain't gonna be there to undergird the issues. This is where everybody having an issue right now. Because we running out of money, quote unquote inflation is rising, they're gonna get rid of Social Security, the boomers that ruined everything. Yep, that's nice. So there's not gonna be a safety net for everybody like there once was. And when I say everybody, it's really white people that had the big safety net, and then all these other immigrant groups had a safety net, but so now it's like, okay, this is what we gonna do, no problem. And the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because when it comes to this whole relationship dynamic, what you're seeing on social media is people are looking for somebody to help them escape their bad decisions as an adult. And let me say this. You can make bad decisions as a child. You can make bad decisions as a teenager. You can make bad decisions as an adult. And all of those bad decisions you can fix if you really want them fixed. What you're seeing is the vast majority of people who made bad decisions, they don't want to fix the mistakes that they've made. They want somebody else to come along and fix the mistakes that they've made. This is why you got an unbalanced society, because you got people who just want to constantly make mistakes and want somebody else to do to fix it. And you have people who fix people's mistakes charging. Like, oh, if I'm fixing stuff, I'm charging. I'm getting paid for fixing these. If I got a solution to these problems, I'm getting paid for this. So, you got an issue. Because people are upset that you think people should be able to help you fix your problems for free. No. And let this go back. This goes back to a biblical thing. We live in a country where you think if you say Jesus is my Lord and Savior, that's all you got to say to God and you going to heaven. This is why we're out of this. This is the part of the reason why we're so dysfunctional and delusional is because we even think we could show up to God like, hey, Jesus is my Lord and Savior. That's all I got to say, buddy. Everything I did that was wrong doesn't matter. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. Like, oh, that's what we doing? Okay. Well, let's see how that work out. We're a delusional group of people. We think all of us, I'm not going to say all of us, the vast majority of us believe that no matter what we do in this life, we're going to heaven. That's crazy. Or I got a chance to right the ship to get there. Like, if you got a chance to write the shit, just write it. Write it right then and right there. Write it. Just write it right then, right there. Don't. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. That's where we at. So since we don't have to take, so we don't even have to take responsibility for us going to heaven. This is how we're approaching life, and now we live in a world where we don't even teach the kids about God like that. So they like now they act like they don't have a concept of right and wrong. Which, by the way, for all you people in the world who like to live that fake lie where you don't actually have a concept of what's right and what's wrong, you sure know when something's wrong when it's done to you though. See, a person who has no concept of right and wrong doesn't know when they're doing right and doesn't know when they're doing wrong. And they don't know when somebody else is doing right and don't know when somebody else is doing wrong. Once you tell a person you know of a person, what they did was wrong. Well, you got a concept. You know what right and wrong is. If you can point it out in another person, you should be able to point it out in yourself. You're lying at that point. You're lying at that point. So this is why I said, since you can't see the truth, we're going to put it out there. Since you can't see the truth, let's just put it out there. We like to escape. I should be watching the game right now, but we like to escape in football, basketball, football season, basketball season, baseball season, hockey, boxing, MMA, music, movies, cartoons, concerts, fashion, right? Partying, drugs, some people, sex. We like to escape. And here's the question. Since you can't see the truth is most of y'all don't even know what y'all escaping from. Life just feels like it's on your neck right now for a reason that you can't understand. And 9 times out of 10, I shouldn't say that you don't know the real reason. You know the real reason. You still don't want to deal with it. Most of the times, what is the real reason? I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And now it's about to come back and bite me in the ass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go watch this game to escape. I'm going to go watch this movie to escape. I'm going to go, wear these clothes and go out and party to escape. I'm going to go, I'm gonna go on vacation to escape. I'm gonna go on the internet to escape. I gotta get out of the way because I'm running from consequences. A lot of us are just running from consequences, and we think if we keep running, the consequences will never catch us. And it's funny; they always seem to catch us. So, yeah, it's crazy, but it's like, what are we doing? Now, we got another thing. Since you can't see the truth, even when it comes to escapism, let me say this. We live in an era, in a time period, where people are aging better than they did in decades prior. And because people are aging better than they did decades prior, they have a choice. I could live a better life for a longer period of time, or I could string out my childhood for a longer period of time. See, this is why you see people still acting like teenagers in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. And this is why you see people who you like, man, how old are you? Man, you look good. And they're living their best life in their 40s, 50s, and 60s because they're like, oh, look, I got time. I got time. No, the truth ain't inside of you. The truth is around you. The truth is around you. If you don't deal with the truth inside of you, you got a you problem. But the truth is all around you. You don't want to believe in the truth. You don't think the truth is around you. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. see if you could lie to yourself and say, I don't need this air. I don't need it. Just when you pass out, and people, I got you. I'm just talking. All these things that people are doing is just to get them to the next thing. And we all have things we like. We all have dreams and aspirations. We have goals. We all have childhood fantasies. We all have all that type of stuff. But here's the thing that's not problematic, but this is the thing that people don't deal with enough. Some people would rather waste their whole life for a couple of moments of a childhood fantasy than actually live their life properly and make that fantasy their actual life. See, when you don't listen to your, let's just say, your inner self, your soul, or you don't put your best foot forward, or you don't give 100% effort, or you're not consistent, or you're not actually trying to do or attempting to do the thing that you say means the most to you in this lifetime, what you wind up doing is finding some little escapist thing to do to fill a void. And since I'm saying it that way, I'm gonna say it this way. It's a reason why you see all these young folks on drugs now. It's a reason why they on Percocets and why they on a lot of weed and why they taking all these pills, why they drinking, and they're not drinking as much as people did back in the day. They're not doing that. I take that back. They're not drinking as much. But it's a reason why you see that. And the reason is they're not actively chasing their actual dreams. They're BSing. They're disappointed. Like, some people don't realize some people use drugs, alcohol, sex, cars, clothes, materialism, as entertainment, as a way to escape disappointment in themselves, because you believe yourself to be a better person than you actually are. And what I mean by that is this: you might see yourself as a great person on the inside, but you can't get that outside of yourself because you too lazy to do the work. And then you see yourself as a disappointment to the dreams you have of yourself. And that sucks. I could be a great singer. Well, okay, start singing. And then 4 years go by and you ain't sung not one doggone song. And then you start taking drugs because you're like, oh my God. And some of y'all are scared. Like we had to talk about the like I said, since the title, since you can't see the truth, some people are there are a lot of people who are too scared to get what they want. And what they want isn't wrong, it isn't illegal, it isn't immoral, it isn't unethical. They got dreams and goals, but they're too scared to put themselves out there to get it. That's they personal. Their biggest issue is that they scary. I can't, I got a fear of public speaking. But you want to be a public speaker, get out there. I just can't do it. Okay, well, it's not gonna happen. I want to be an athlete. Well, get in the game. I'm scared. I'm scared to play. Well, it ain't gonna never happen. That You can't be scared. How you can't on one hand love life and be scared of it at the same time. If you don't want to do it, what you living for? And everybody not gonna be successful at whatever they dream to do. But guess what? Everybody who tried is more successful than the people who was too scared to do it. That don't make no sense. Your fear is killing you. And let me take that a step further. When it comes to all of these relationships, that's what a lot of it is about. Y'all just scary. Y'all scared. You scared somebody gonna see you, as a buster, or somebody gonna see you as ugly, or somebody gonna see you as average, and somebody gonna see you as sorry. And I'm talking about men and women. Y'all scared because when we get into this relationship dynamic, we don't address the fact that a lot of people play this overly inflated ego game is because they super insecure and they want to act like they better than everybody because they scared of everybody. They got all, I got all these what do you call that? I got all of these standards for people. You know why your standards is delusional? Because you scared. You scared. You scared. That's just what it is. Ain't nothing gonna happen. I don't want to be no fool. I don't want to be a sucker. You're right, man. You could be a fool. You could be a sucker. But I would rather be a fool and a sucker than be scared my whole doggone life. If you find out something's wrong, move on. But this is where people lose some things. It's not, you're smart if you get yourself involved in something and you realize, I see where this is gonna go. This is not where I'm going, and then you move elsewhere. That's smart. But what people nowadays are looking at smart is, I'm not getting myself involved in anything, and I'm smart because none of these things will ever happen to me. And it's like, bruh, so you mean to tell me you gonna waste your whole life being scared of something bad happening to you to the point that you won't even approach something good happening to you? And the reason why I said it is because it seems to me that most of the people, and I ain't just talking about relationships when I say this, I'm talking about life at this point. It seems to me that most of the people who got all these complaints, not even the complaints, and I take that back. Most of the people who feel like they're smart because they're not getting involved in anything, they're still upset. They're not walking around like, hey, you know what? I never tried to go after my dreams. I feel great. They're not talking like that. Hey man, I never tried to get in these relationships. I feel great. They're not talking like that. They're talking like they're still upset. So it's like, hey, pick a side, man. Pick a struggle. Just pick a struggle. And if you pick that struggle, stay over there. It's like some of us are just too blind to the reality. It's just, and it's sad, but we blind on purpose. Some of us are blind on purpose. And I say that, like, let me tell you. So, me personally, I have a thing where I try to live as much as possible, but I ain't trying to push it. You see what I'm saying? So I've done a lot of different things, but there's not a lot of things that I'm just going, I'm doing this all the time. The only thing I do every day is work and work out. That's pretty much it. That's a consistent thing with me. Work out. I used to do this, but I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. I'm not a gambler, but I went to Vegas. I gambled. Casino. I mean, went to a cruise. I gambled. Don't like it, but I can say I did it. It was nerve wracking, but I can say I did it. You know, I wanted to make music. I did it. You know, when I went to college, I wanted to play sports in college. I did it. I didn't do it all the ones that I wanted to do, but I did do it. You get what I'm saying? I wanted to go to college. I did it. I you know I wanted to be out on my own in the world. I did it. I wanted to be a homeowner. I did it. I wanted to be a parent. I did it. Everything didn't work out the way I wanted, but I did do it. You get what I'm saying? I wanted to write a book. I did it. I want to do this YouTube stuff. I did it. And the reason I'm saying what I'm saying is because the truth is, you know, there's a lot of other things. I wanted to learn how to invest. I did it. You get what I'm saying? I wanted to learn how to fix stuff. I did it. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't have a I don't I didn't I don't have a fear of not doing certain things. You know what I mean? I wanted to drive fast. I did it. I don't do it all the time. Though. I'm done. I'm like, I'm good. I did it. I want to do a bunch of different things. There's not too many things. Only thing I haven't done on my list, I wanted to go to Africa. Shout out to O'Shea. Boy, you know, always got love. Appreciate you. You know, I did it. I don't want to go to Europe. I actually went to the Caribbean because of my wife. So you get to, you know, we went to, what was that? Was it Bahamas? It was the Bahamas. I did it. You know, wasn't that long, but shoot, still did it. But the only thing I haven't done is skydive. That's it. And I'm still on the fence about that. I'm like, do I want to jump out of a plane with somebody wrapped onto my back? I don't know. You know, I would love to do it by myself, but I don't want to, you know, bounce off the concrete and that'd be a wrap with me. So, but the vast majority of things I want to do that I want to do, I do. I didn't say, you know, if I got a list of things I want to do, I'm gonna do them. And when I say since you can't see the truth is, you know, LOL wife did. You cold blooded for that. You know, but you know, a lot of what's going on in our world is we're not actually doing the things we set out to do. And if you never do these things, your life is not going to be as fulfilling as you want it. You know, yeah, I don't want to go to Europe, dog. I just never looked at Europe as a good place. My aunt loves, where is she at? My aunt loves Greece. I just don't like. I don't want. You know, most of Europe is can't cook. Don't like the weather. If I go somewhere, it's gonna be Africa or the Caribbean. 9 times out of 10. I love all of that, but don't want to go to Switzerland. You know, if I was big on watch buying, I would probably go to Switzerland. But no, I don't. Nope. But that's just me. That's just me. You know. And so now, you know, at the end of the day, man, the truth of the matter is you got to be honest about yourself, honest with yourself and about things. And it's a lot of things that we not doing because we just scared. I already went. I went to Uganda. You know, so I mean, no, the only place take that back. I want to go to Seychelles. So Kenya and Seychelles is probably next on my list. You know, yeah, I graduated college. Yeah, I did all that. You know, and oh, let me say this too before I start to get. since like a lot of y'all, you have no control of where you from. You have no control of where you're from. You know, yeah. Oh man, I hate that. Trust me, I hate that. You know, yeah. I don't need to live. I don't need to live. Like everybody, this whole world is big. You know, I don't want to live in Africa. You know, you know. I don't want. I don't like the desert in America. so, so I wouldn't want to live in a desert in Africa. And there's a lot of desert in Africa. Boy, it's a lot of desert. But what I mean by that is this: I've learned that I was born and raised in major cities in America. So born in New Orleans, raised in really Chicago, a little bit in the DMV. And one thing I learned over the years was the United States, especially the United States, is only a few. We have from my upbringing, it's a few major cities: New York, L.A., Chicago. New York, L.A., Chicago were the major ones when I was coming up. Miami became a thing. Atlanta became a thing. New Orleans was a thing for because it's its own culture. Um, Houston now is a thing. Dallas was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Memphis became a thing. Thank you. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, George. Philly was always a thing. The DMV, like I said, really was DC that was a thing. It was like Baltimore, still like people got a thing about Baltimore, whatever. And St. Louis was Kansas City. Charlotte is coming. Yeah, I'm in H Town, so I get it. So what happened was everybody's not from major parts in America. Oakland, San Francisco, Oakland, everybody's not from what we call major spots in America. So if you're not from a major spot in America, you ain't got to prove yourself to people from major spots in America. Sometimes people go to the cities for opportunity, right? They go from small towns or country towns, to prove themselves, like, I'm just as good as them people out here. Just because somebody from the city don't mean that they like that. Like they're a dog in life. That don't mean that. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that. So if you come from a small town, don't ever feel insecure. And like I said, I was born in New Orleans, but and people in Louisiana are gonna know what I'm saying. People from, a Meat, Destrehan, Hanville, Homer, Gonzales, Covington, Crowley, Lafayette, Bogalusa, Plaquemine, boy, you know what I'm saying? I could go on and on. Opelousas. If I ain't say Opelousas, Kenner. That that's close to New Orleans. So people don't know. Slidell if you want to throw there, but that's part of the idea. Like people in Mississippi from Yazoo City, Greenwood, Greenville, Ida Bena. Some of y'all don't know Biloxi, Gulfport, like, in Texas, Port Arthur, that type of stuff. Oh, that's dope that you stayed in Kenner. All right. LaPlace, yeah. It's just, it's, don't let people from the city deter you from being whatever you want to be. Shreveport, Bossier City, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let Claiborne is a street. I get you though. people don't realize this. Just because, people are from a major cities, like I said, that don't mean that they like that. They don't mean that they like that. So if you're from a small town, you can definitely go to another city and compete and beat people out. Definitely. Definitely. You get what I'm saying? So don't ever play that. People don't know about Yazoo. I swear they don't. And the reason that got to be said is because I don't think you won't be on business. The reason that got to be said, and I got to say that is because, a lot of people, like I said, since you can't see the truth, the truth of the matter is this. If you're from a small city, if you're from the country, a country person is smarter than a city person. Because when a country person goes to the city, you got to learn the city because you got to interact with the city. But city people don't really interact with the country like that. City people don't really interact with the small towns like that. So, they have more that they have to deal with. You get what I'm saying? So country people outside of the city, y'all are way smarter than y'all give yourselves credit for. Way smarter. So don't go to these cities and forget that. Just don't go to them cities and try to run the city. Like, oh, this is my town now. That ain't gonna work. But I'm a finish watching this game. It's 10 o'clock at night. It's past my curfew. It's past my curfew. Let me put this outro on, man. I just want to thank all y'all, man. I just wanted to say this, get this off my chest, man. Y'all have a great one. I'm gonna put this thing out here. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young or the old, fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I'm drunk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you should follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I finished it.
Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so